Have you ever walked into a room and noticed how things shift even before you speak? People glance over, pause their conversations, or act a little uneasy. And you wonder, why? You didn't do anything. You were just being you. Well, it might be. Your energy, your presence, and after 50, that presence becomes even stronger. Today, I'm going to share 13 subtle but powerful signs that your presence might be too much for some people to handle. Not because there's anything wrong with you, but because there's so much right with you now. Stick around. Because number 12 is the one most people never see coming. And if you've ever been misunderstood or made to feel like too much, leave a comment below that says, "I'm done shrinking." Let's get into it. And hey, if this already feels like something you've lived through, come along for the journey. We talk about things here that most people don't say out loud. By the time you've hit 50 or 60 or beyond, you've been through some things. You've lost, you've loved, you've learned, and most importantly, you've grown. You're no longer pretending. You're not trying to be anyone but who you really are. That's when things start to change. You stop chasing approval, and you start standing in your truth. That kind of emotional clarity creates an energy, an aura that others feel before you even speak, but not everyone can handle it. So let's talk about the first sign. You walk into a room and people shift. Some go quiet, others fidget. They may avoid eye contact or act a little too polite. You're not doing anything special, but your presence says, "I'm here, I'm grounded, I'm real." That kind of calm confidence can be unsettling to those who are still unsure of themselves. It's like your inner peace makes them aware of their own inner chaos. But here's the thing. You didn't cause it. You just showed up. Now here's where it gets interesting. Some people are drawn to you like magnets. They admire your calm, your wisdom, your ability to speak truth without drama. But others, they pull away, criticize you, or act distant. It's confusing until you realize this. They're not reacting to you. They're reacting to how they feel about themselves around you. Your clarity highlights their confusion. Your self-respect reminds in them where they've settled. It's not personal, even if it feels that way. Ever been in a situation where you speak gently but honestly, and someone gets offended, or you say no to something that doesn't feel right, and suddenly you're accused of being cold or selfish? That's projection. When people are carrying unhealed insecurities, they often place them onto others, especially someone like you who no longer wears a mask. You're not here to carry other people's emotional baggage. You've done enough of that in earlier chapters of your life. Now your job is to protect your peace. And while we're here, if this is the kind of reminder your soul needs, stick around for more. We explore truths like these every single week. And speaking of emotional reactions, have you ever noticed how some strangers open up to you instantly, or on the flip side, someone you just met acts defensive, even a little hostile? That's your energy doing the talking. You don't have to say a word. Your presence alone can make people feel safe or exposed. The ones who are ready to grow will lean in. The ones who are still hiding from themselves might pull away. Either way, it's not about you. It's about what your energy stirs up in them. Now let's talk about something I know many of you have heard before. You're too intense. You think too much. You're too sensitive. Sound familiar? Let me tell you right now, you're not too much. You're just no longer interested in small talk, fake smiles, or surface-level living. When you've lived through heartbreak, raised kids, buried parents, faced illness or loneliness, you earn the right to go deep, and if that's too much for someone, they're not your people. One of the clearest signs that your presence is powerful is when the whole room shifts the moment you walk in. You don't say a word, but suddenly people are sitting up straighter, the mood changes, the energy resets. That's not charisma, that's clarity. You carry a centeredness that speaks louder than words, and it's something you've earned. Through time, through healing, through showing up for yourself again and again. And that kind of presence, it invites truth. You've probably noticed that people feel comfortable confiding in you. They tell you things they've never said out loud. Even strangers feel safe revealing their fears or regrets. It's because your energy feels honest, grounded, non-judgmental. But let's be clear, that doesn't mean you're responsible for fixing everyone. You can listen, support, and still protect your own emotional space. Now, here's the good part. When you stop performing, you start attracting real connections and repelling the fake ones, people who are superficial, manipulative, or always performing for attention. They just kind of drift away, or they may criticize you for not playing along. Let them. You're not here for shallow validation. You're here for real love, real peace, and real purpose. Still, your energy can have polarizing effects. Some people feel uplifted around you, others feel anxious or drained. You may even walk away from some interactions feeling tired or emotionally heavy. That's because your energy is strong, and not everyone's energy mixes well with it. When your presence brings clarity, it naturally amplifies whatever someone else is carrying. If they're grounded, they'll feel inspired. If they're chaotic, they'll feel exposed. And sometimes people will try to feed off your calm. These are the folks who always want your attention, your support, your energy, but offer nothing in return. They're not bad people, but they're not ready to stand on their own yet. That's why boundaries matter. And if what you're hearing helps you feel a little more steady in your own growth, join me here again soon. We go deep into this kind of wisdom every week. Now here's a beautiful sign you may not have even noticed. Animals trust you. Children gravitate to you. They sense your groundedness, your kindness, your authenticity. They don't judge your looks, your status, or your past. They feel your energy. And if they respond to you with warmth or curiosity, that's one of the truest validations of who you are. And when life gets chaotic around you, when emotions run high or things feel out of control, you don't lose your cool. You pause, you breathe, you respond instead of react. To some, that's intimidating. They're used to drama. They expect people to yell or panic. But you stay calm because you've lived enough to know that panic doesn't solve anything. And peace is your superpower. And perhaps the most powerful shift of all, you've stopped seeking approval. You no longer bend yourself to fit in. You don't apologize for your boundaries. You don't shrink to make others comfortable. You walk in your truth. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." And after 50, you start living that truth out loud. You're no longer here to please the crowd. You're here to honor your journey. And that scares some people, because a person who doesn't need approval can't be controlled. So if you've ever felt misunderstood, if you've ever been told you're too much, if you've noticed people pulling away just as you started standing taller, know this: it's not rejection, it's redirection. You're not here to dim your light. You're here to walk fully in it. So what do you do with this kind of energy? First, you protect it. Boundaries aren't about shutting people out. They're about keeping your peace in. Second, you ground it. Spend time in quiet. Journal, walk, reflect. Let your energy renew itself. Third, you use it with purpose. Your presence can uplift, awaken, and heal, but only when you choose where and how to share it. And finally, don't apologize for it. Not everyone will understand your power, and that's okay. If this message spoke to you, comment below with, "I'm standing in my presence." Let me know which of these signs you've experienced. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if you've made it this far and something in you feels seen, hang out here again. We're building something honest, warm, and real together. And follow along, because I've got more coming to help you navigate love, boundaries, and emotional strength in the second half of life. You've lived too much, grown too far, and healed too deeply to play small now. This is your time not to shrink but to shine, and your presence, it's not just powerful, it's sacred. Let the world feel it.